Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kelly White.
Hi, everybody. I'm spiritual medium, psychotherapist, and author Kelly White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything today on April 23rd, 2026. How's everybody been? I know I had quite a harrowing week last week that I will tell you about because it does lead me into our topic tonight of totems with a twist. But first, let me say hi to some people, and then we'll get into the astrology of the next couple of weeks. And also, we're going to be talking about totems, which I do love to talk about, and totems with put a little spin on that. So let me say hi to a few people. Hi, Melissa. Can every totem in nature have two different meanings? For example, all red-breasted cardinals and blue jays and butterflies. Yes, Melissa, every totem can have many, many, many meanings, okay? I'm so glad you asked that question, and I am going to be talking about that. Hi, Sasha. Oh, thanks, honey. Grateful for wonderful insights and wisdoms. Thank you. Hi, Renee. She says, Kelly, I love the topic tonight. I thought you would, Renee. I do too. I've always wondered if we can have an element as a totem. She said, I've been experiencing a lot of water synchronicity and symbolism popping up. I'm so glad that you said that. The answer is yes. You can have water as a totem. You can have elements as a totem. You can have diamonds as a totem. You can have fire as a totem. You can have earth as a totem. There's so many ways that spirit is giving us messages, particularly now during this really challenging timeline that we're on. So yes, if water resonates with you and you're seeing a lot of synchronicity with water, that would absolutely be a totem for you. Absolutely. It's not the way it used to be anymore. Everything is available for questioning and recognizing as a symbol for yourself right now. Toby says, Kelly, I found a necklace I had lost 23 years ago. Wow. And I've been in shock all day, 23 years ago, and today is the 23rd. So I think that's fantastic. Toby, how I'd be in shock too. That's a big shocker. Now, I wonder why today. I wonder what it is about today, the energy that the necklace needed to come out today. Interesting. Oh, it's so thanks for sharing that. Gives us all like hope and something to look forward to. Hi, Jean. Excited for tonight's topics. Hope all is well with your fur babies and family. Thanks, Jean. And I am going to talk about that gecko tonight, Jean. And yes, we are all doing well. Thank you. Last week was harrowing, but today we are doing well. Leslie says, love your shows. Thanks, Leslie. Sonia says, good evening, Kelly, and your family and four-legged babies. Thank you. Yes, I will get you a card for your spouse when I go back to do cards. Okay, Sonia, I will make sure I do that. Hi, Snowy Owl Intuitive Services. Hi, Michelle. And Michelle does fabulous card readings and meditations every other Sunday, or every Sunday she's doing one or the other. And it's always Sunday, and you can find her on Facebook at Snowy Owl Intuitive Services on Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And it's just really great. She's an incredible reader. I mean, she does, and a great healer, a fabulous healer. She does great work. She gave me a card the other day that said endurance. And who knew? I'll be laughing about that, Michelle, the rest of my life. That last week was quite a feat of endurance, and they were warning me ahead of time. So I appreciate that. Hi, Sweet Cherry Wine. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Elizabeth Preston, honey. How are you? You survived all the tornadoes too? I know that you and I are not too far, and I saw your town on the news, so I just wanted to make sure that you were okay too. Hi, Laura. For the past 2 weeks, an owl in a huge tree beside my house has been hooting all day and night. So, Laura, owls represent the female psychic, and they also represent, again, more than one thing. They represent wisdom. And I have two people that I know that sent me videos from their home. It recently, in the last 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, two owls, not one, but two owls, like on the roof, two owls. and hooting and hooting and hooting and two together. And that's like a double form of everything. It's like stepping into your wisdom. It's so important. And so for you, Laura, you're such a wisdom person. You're such a deep wisdom soul that tracks there, as they say. It tracks. Hey, Gayla Mathis. Hey, Lee Star. Hi, Mary. Hi, Leslie. I'm feeling much, much better than I was last week. Hey, Gayla, and hey, Frank. Frank, I am going to stop and I am going to get you a card, Frank, because I know you had sent me a text and asked me to get you a card, and I thought I'm going to draw a card for you right now, and then I'm going to get into the Vedic astrology from the angel numbers for you, Frank. Okay, because I was thinking about everything that you've been going through lately, and I know it's been a handful. So this is from the angels. Oh, honey, this is so perfect for you. This is so perfect. 444 protection. Get a picture of that protection, honey. You are protected. Okay, Frank? Just remember that. You are protected. The angels have your back, as they say. And everybody, we all go through challenging times, lessons to be learned by all. We go through all of that. And we survive, and sometimes we thrive, and sometimes we get pulled back, and then we go forward again. Life is full of all kinds of experiences. Just remember that. Hi, Vivian from Canada. Hey, Carla, how are you? You're so sweet. Carla, I got your email. I just haven't had time to respond yet, but I'm going to. So good to hear from you, honey. Hey, Dolly and Marge and Patty. Okay, I could keep going on. And Jackie Grace. I got to stop because I'm going to go into some Vedic astrology here. And I want to say a couple of things. Today is a really interesting day because today on April 23rd, 2026, in Vedic astrology, I'm talking about, Venus is conjuncting Uranus. So Venus is the planet of love and relationships, finances. And when a planet conjuncts another planet, it means they are so close to each other that they affect each other. And it's next to Uranus, the planet of, shock and surprise and transformation and all kinds of things. And it happens to be in Vedic astrology in Taurus. So it's a real high energy. And we've had such intense energies from last week on, intense energies. And it lasts. We're kind of getting a break, a little bit of a break, not much, but at least it feels to me like it's lessened of the grip. The grip isn't as like volatile as it has been. But today, with this conjunction of Venus and Uranus, it could bring sudden changes in relationships or sudden thoughts that you have of a consciousness. Your consciousness could absolutely shift through just, I don't know, feeling more like ready to see some things. So something about Uranus, where Uranus brings that kind of that transformation, that kind of sudden thing, especially in relationships. If a relationship isn't not good for you, it may reveal some of itself today. So also on April 29th, all the way till May 14th, Mercury, the planet is the fastest moving planet, communications, it moves into Aries. And so during this period from about April 29th to about May 14th, we expect direct thinking, fast thinking, bold communications, like quick decisions, that kind. So even though the energies for even going into May are going to be, I don't know what to say, heavy duty, but they're going to bring a lot of wisdom to each of us. We'll receive some blessings in May because the blessings may have to do with, frankly, learning a lot about yourself or something like that. Because on May 1st, we have, first of all, in May, and I'll be talking about May, I think, next week. But in May, we have 2 full moons in May. It's very rare. It's called a blue moon. So we have this blue moon situation coming up. And on May 1st, it's the first of the full moons on May 1st, and the second is May 31st. And what makes that important is on May 1st, it's going to be in Vedic astrology. It's in Libra. It's a full moon, and it has themes of like movement and negotiation and detachment. And again, that sudden change. That's what I'm talking about. In the next few weeks, there could be a lot of sudden change for people. So that could bring a lot of tension or in relationships or letting go of things that it's just time to let go. That's the first full moon. On May 31st, we have a second full moon, a blue moon, it's called. and it's in Scorpio in Vedic astrology. And the second full moon will be purging the things, the emotional issues, the negative energy, anything left over from the beginning of the month. It's like it's like a twofer this month in May. You'll start on the first, you might have a lot of emotional feelings, and by the end of the month, you'll be able to start really letting that go. So we'll talk about that as we get a little closer to that. It's just interesting that this time period brings in a blue moon. I mean, doesn't it feel like so many strange things are happening? And it feels like a constant blue moon. We're in a constant phase of blue moon. Oh my gosh. So let me just tell you, we're going to talk about totems, but I really wanted to start with and let me just start with this, because I think this is really important here. We are going to be talking about totems, and totems are the signs around you. They're not random. And I want everybody to pay attention to that. They're not random. And once you get a consciousness of looking at signs, it's not like every single thing is a sign. However, we are living under this intense pressure right now. And I feel that Earth, and yesterday was Earth Day. God bless Earth. She's done an extraordinary job in the most harrowing of times. And so I really believe that we're receiving more help from the other side than ever before. And that includes the totems, the animals, the spirit world, the animals also. And so it's not random. When we see totems, they are guidance. And once you start paying attention to this, you'll get it, because spirit is always communicating. It's always finding a way to reach you, always. But sometimes it doesn't look the way you would expect it. Like, show me a sign, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you might get some real twist of a sign and you go, what? Because that's just how this works. Again, we have free will here. And we will always have free will on Earth to make the choices that we need to make. And that's why it's so important that it's mind, body, and soul, that you take really good care of yourself, your mind, your emotions, your body, because it will make you a clearer thinker. And free will is why we come to Earth. And at the same time, we will receive as much help as we can get. And that's what's happening right now with totems. And that's why I really wanted to talk about totems, because sometimes it's not this major, big, obvious moment, but sometimes it might be more quiet, like more repeated, and even a little unexpected. And the truth is, totems aren't just about animals. Really, Renee, as you said, it also can be elements. It can be something that you're really drawn to, okay? But they're about your experience and your timing and your connection. So tonight we're going to open up in a way that feels a little more real and intuitive and grounded, so you can start recognizing what's already trying to reach you. So, and when we talk about totems, most people immediately think of animals like a hawk or a butterfly or a deer. And yes, absolutely, these are totems. But I really want to expand this to you, because a totem is any repeating symbol or a repeating experience, or an experience, not even a repeated one, or a presence, something that carries energy and meaning for you. So it might be in a specific moment in your life. So we're going to talk about how to recognize, how spirit communicates in a language that you're going to recognize. So first, what is a totem? I mean, a totem is an animal, or it doesn't have to be, it could be an animal, it could be something in the sea, it could be dragons, it could be really, it embodies a lot of different things here, but something that embodies, again, qualities or lessons or energies that guide you, that protect you, and that help you on your path. And people across all cultures have used symbolism like this. And then totems change depending on what we're going through in our life. So I want to talk about totems with a twist, because I really feel that the animal kingdom is working overtime to help us find new ways to get our attention. I had a situation, as I had mentioned to you about my, I was in a tornadoes last week. So I did the show last Thursday. And then on Friday, so we had tornadoes backing up here. We had tornadoes on Tuesday, on Wednesday, nothing on Thursday. And then on Friday, we had 5 hours of tornadoes. The town closest to us was hit by an EF2 tornado. And I would think half the town was probably destroyed. It was a very traumatic event. I thought I had had enough trauma last week, and then to add the Friday to it was a lot. It was too much. And Dawn and I were in the basement with our dogs for about 5 hours, and it was really rough. But we survived it all, and our house was spared, and nothing happened to our house. But my nervous system really got shook up. I was really dysregulated. And when you're dysregulated, it's almost like you feel like you're not in your body. I couldn't get grounded. So the very next day, we slept, and I had trouble catching my breath in the middle of the night. I don't know if you guys have ever had that trouble. I literally couldn't catch my breath. And I thought to myself, I'm wondering if this got to be trauma here. I mean, I actually had the awareness that it was probably trauma because I had never had trouble catching my breath like this. And so on Saturday, I said to Dawn, I've got to go out. And for me, what grounds me is going to farmers markets and being around produce, and that kind of thing really has always, since I was a kid, grounded me. So I thought, I live in the country, but I'll go out to a farmer's market. And I was driving even in a real country road. I mean, I live on a country road, and I'm in the country. So this road was even more country. And I live in an area called the Driftless area. And the Driftless area, I think, was where they had all these glaciers. And it's really an extraordinary, beautiful pastoral area that I live in. So I was driving down these country roads. And as I was driving and getting closer to where I was headed, I looked, and to the right of me was this beautiful pastoral hill full of sheep. And all of the sheep were on the hill, and they were on the ground. They were not grazing. They were literally on the ground. I'm sure they were trying to get recalibrated too. But I pulled my car over, and I just sat and watched the sheep. Now I get why people count sheep now. So it was so calming for me to experience the calmness of the sheep and the peacefulness. And I thought, God, I could have been a sheep herder. Maybe I was in another life. I don't know. But I love sheep. So that is my new totem, is sheep. And if you want to borrow it for any anxiety you feel, I am telling you, get yourself some pictures of sheep, and just on a hill. They are just so calming. So it was a really, really calming for me. And then that night, my sister called me. So it was Saturday night. And she said, I have to tell you the strangest thing. She said, I had a dream last night about a ram. So a ram is a male sheep. She had no idea that I was, sitting in a field of sheep for 15 minutes. And so she had a dream of a ram, and this ram was getting her up the next hill, like probably the next consciousness that she needs to be in. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Sheep, ram. I think we're going to see animals maybe that we don't think about or we don't talk about coming out more to help us. So you can also make anything we're going to talk about, or anything that you're drawn to is your totem. So make it your own. My daughter had a situation a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it was very dysregulating for me. She was out in nature, and she was paddling on a paddleboard or some such thing in a nature preserve. And she took a picture of it. I couldn't believe it. Just fit 10 feet in front of her, an alligator popped up. And she remained calm, and the elevator kept going. And I think hopefully they hopped off. The next couple of days after that, she was at a function, and they had an armadillo there. I'm like, what is this with these creatures? Like, an alligator and armadillo, but they both represent pretty much the same thing, which is in transformation, which she is under a lot of transformation. So it's like the old ancient ways of thinking and going forward. So I know that whenever you have any sort of, whether you're seeing the animal itself, which to me, they're making more appearances than ever, or you dream about it, or you see a picture of it, it's important that you pay attention. And Jean, which I love this, Jean, that you have geckos where you live, and you love geckos, and that has been a totem that has resonated with you, and you've always had an affinity to them, and they've always been in your gardens, you said, and you strive to protect them, which I love that. And gecko as a totem carries the theme of adaptability, awareness, regeneration, and subtle power. And that is so amazing. And I love that you said that a gecko acts when a threat is realized. They pump their small bodies like they're doing push-ups. And you said, I wonder if that's how they're regulating their nervous system. 100%. And I love that you said that, because it's accurate. And also it's like when I saw the sheep were not walking around. The sheep were grounded. And every place I drove in the country on Saturday, we have a lot of cows in the pastures, which usually they're walking. No. Everybody was on the ground. It was like grounding their own nervous systems. So there's an energy with that. There's a rhythm to that, which I think is very important. Okay. So getting back to all of these totems, again, totems are not random, and they show up when you are in transition. Okay. Or when you're asking for guidance, even if it's silent, you're asking for guidance, or when something is shifting internally. And I really feel that right now, again, pay attention, because there's so much going on earth. There's so much that we're bombarded with news and all kinds of things that is dysregulating, that when you ask for guidance, it will be there. It may be in a form of a gecko. It may be in the form of a butterfly, but often they come in ways that they might feel repetitive, or they might feel noticeable. Like that, the sheep, that was it for me. That was it. If I were ever going to get a tattoo, which I do not have, I might get a sheep. I swear, I'm going to blow up pictures of sheep, because it's so calming for me. Anyway, and also they may come in a way that's slightly different than normal. So it's not like you just saw a bird. It may be that you saw this bird 3 times in one day, or it came in unusually close to you, or I have this happen a lot, especially when I'm in a session with somebody. And this has happened quite frequently lately, I'll have a cardinal right there. I'll have a blue jay practically trying to get through the window, or I'll have birds just hitting the glass. I'm like, okay, I get the message. You don't have to do it again. I got it. But that happens. And so if this happens, or if it shows up right after you asked a question, you've got a message here. But totems work through resonance. So it's not logic. It means it's less than what it traditionally means. It's more about, for you, what it feels like for you in the moment. That's really what it feels like. So you might see a butterfly and feel peace, but somebody else might see a butterfly and feel grief. Another person might feel change is coming. So, and all 3 of those are valid, because with the butterflies, so butterfly can be, I remember having a session with a woman who lost her mother, and the mother on the other side is telling me, butterfly, butterfly, butterfly. I said, boy, then she said something about the both of them love you and your mother have this thing for butterflies. It's so important. And she said, well, yes, right before my mother died, we both got butterfly tattoos. So that would be a validation for her. But for somebody else, let's say I'm doing a session and I just start seeing butterflies everywhere. Butterflies could mean great transformation, because they're coming out of that cocoon and they're transforming. So everybody might feel it differently, but all messages for you would be valid, because whatever the emotional response is for you, it is for you. And that's how they actually work. So again, it is the message is not just the symbol, but it's your emotional response to it and recognizing the difference. So how do you know it's not just a coincidence? Like, you don't have to force it. You just notice it. Okay, so you can ask yourself, did this stand out for me? Did this feel different or meaningful? Did this show up more than once? But most importantly, it's what did I feel when this happened? Like I felt that was my mom. I felt that was um, my spirit guide telling me, that a lot of change is going to happen. So really trusting your own intuition about what that meaning it is. And that's part what people struggle with is trust. And again, everything goes back to trusting your own intuition. Everybody's got intuition. It's often piled on with crap from old belief systems or old parenting or old stuff that it's time to shake free as much as you can for that so you can trust your own gut. Because everybody has the ability to trust their own intuition. We get scared to do it, but it's everything. It's so important here, okay? Because the mind will immediately jump in, as minds do, and say, "Oh, that's nothing." Mine never did that. But I always go right into something. Oh, that means this. It will, or you're overthinking, or it's just random. But your intuition is quieter. It's very subtle and it nudges you. It doesn't push. So learning to trust your own, like your totem awareness would mean slowing down, becoming aware. Oh, look, I see two owls right now. What does that mean? Now, if you don't know, start looking it up, but really see what you're going through at that moment. Owls are so significant. And to see two of them, that's old ancient wisdom is being handed to you. So, what is this asking me to see? And also, what is shifting in my life right now? And again, we're all making shifts right now. That's the energy on earth at this time to make shifts. So, that's what we're doing. And so, it's a place where you move from observing to actually understanding this. I think that's really important. And Melissa, when you had asked about blue jays, and I think that was an important one because blue jays symbolize intelligence and protection and fierce loyalty, but urging you to speak your truth and stand your ground. I think it's really important that's when I see blue jays, I go, okay, is they're tough guys. I'm telling you, these blue jays, they'll take you down. They're unbelievable, I think. But totems help us clarify our inner states, like and animal traits can help you with understanding feelings maybe or tendencies that maybe you couldn't describe. They also offer practical guidance, like they suggest approaches. Like let's say it's a bear, like Lori, I know you see a lot of bears where you are. Does that mean to rest? Is it the mama bear? If you see foxes, is that because fox is all about adapting? So also they can provide comfort and presence. For instance, the sheep, I'm telling you, comfort. Oh my God, it was so comforting. If I could have just gone and been, in this field with them, I would have, but I could feel the energy. It was just wonderful. Boy, I just love those sheep. I'm telling you, because they can actually help with animals that can bring comfort with isolation. And it also increases your resilience when you feel better. Like once I got regulated, and the second thing that helped me get regulated, the first was the sheep. The second was, God bless our gal and Maggie, who's in our group. She's wonderful. And she teaches Qigong. And when next time she does one for the public, I'll let everybody know again. She's just wonderful. And we had a Qigong class. And that's when I realized I could catch my breath again. So thank you, Maggie, for your great Qigong class. But also animal totems can trigger insight. So they start coming up in unexpected ways, like maybe you physically see them, right? Or dreams. Dreams are profound with this, but also they could come in to objects. Like all of a sudden you might see somebody has a keychain of a peacock and you're like, wait a minute, I love peacocks. And then you start thinking. So they're getting clever with how they're showing us how their awareness is coming up. They're getting creative, very creative. It's not like back in the day. Okay. And they can activate creativity, which is really important. And also they can help with marking the stages of our personal change or our ongoing lessons. And when I first started down this road, and I've told this story before, but in a dream, I had a dream of a giant animal clock, and every time, the 1 o'clock, midnight, or 12, and then 1, 2 was a different animal. And what I was told was that for a certain period of time, that might be an elephant with me. Next one might be a lion with me. So also, I want to mention this. We come in with an animal totem that is ours throughout our life, or more than one. And in my case, I've had a passion for tigers forever. And I remember as a little kid always dreaming about having 6 tigers around, like 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. Ironically, when I was in business, they called me the Tiger Lady. That's right. But it made sense because I had this thing about tigers. But on top of that, so we've got the ones that come in for life that are with you. And then we also have the ones that come up every day, once a month, every 2 weeks, whatever it is that we're needing to go through. Okay. So also, an animal behaving unusual to you might be a direct mirror to a situation that you're having. Okay. Now, here's another one with a twist. We might hear of certain animals in songs, in memes, because in modern society now, they're delivering messages in different ways. So pay attention to this. We might also feel physical sensations like with an animal's symbolism. So because they can energetically activate a lot of things here. And I'm watching it happen in real time here. You might have sudden cravings or dietary changes that come with animal totems. You might decide you don't want to eat meat anymore. You may you might have all kinds of things that shift your consciousness. You also might see, which is fun, all of a sudden you see a child, and you might be at the store and a child is imitating an animal. That could be something that makes you, think, okay, wait a minute, I better pay attention to this. Okay, so all of this, and you might see storylines of repeated animals or, of that. So, keep that in mind for all of this, because you will be seeing and feeling animals around like you wouldn't believe now, because they are here to help us on this journey that we're on. And this is a big journey that we're on. This is a huge journey. So they're here to help us. So for that, hold on a second. Let me just get into this. And before we wrap that up, I just want to talk about a few things here. Dr. Shirley and Pellizzari and I hope you saw our class on Tuesday that Shirley and I did on narcissism. That was a good one, right? Had a lot of people write in and text and email me about it. They got triggered because they were thinking, oh my God, I think I might be with a narcissist. So this is why Shirley and I do the work we do. We want to give as much information out to people to learn. So Shirley and I have a special session that we offer. It's called a Mind and Soul session with Shirley, and it's the two of us. And you can find this on Psychology and the Soul website, but it's the two of us for 90 minutes. And, we will work with you on, I'll be talking from a spiritual standpoint, which may mean messages and mediumship. And Shirley might be talking with you or working with you through somatic issues. So it's a real powerful combination that when the two of us work together. I'm also offering spiritual coaching now, and that's really a real grounded way if you're moving through something and you need some help, whether it's with business or emotional or all of it, or spiritually, or how to get you to the next place. That might be something that you might want to look at. My May calendar is up. My May for 2026 is up now. So go ahead, kellywhite.com, and you can find that. I also have a Starseed class, which I'm so excited about, with Janelle Campbell, and that is on May 22nd in the United States, May 23rd in Australia, from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we're going to go into the experience of intergalactic souls and starseeds. And Janelle does an amazing thing. She's an extraordinary channel, and she's going to be channeling the starseed system, and she's going to be doing a meditation for us. So we're really going to be exploring the souls who are here on Earth at this time that feel that you might be a starseed. If you feel a little different then please join us, because it's always great fun to be with Janelle, and so much energy comes out of this. So I think you guys would really like that. And finally, I have a class on June 27th with Dr. Shirley, and we're going to be teaching a live Zoom class on why they act that way and what you can do about it. It's really understanding personality patterns and triggers and boundaries. So it's going into the narcissism and to the personality disorders of borderline and sociopathy and all kinds of things. It's a 2.5-hour class, and we'll be taking as many questions as we can. And so we're going to be helping you understand the personality patterns and the triggers and how to create healthy boundaries without guilt or confusion or burnout. So this happens this is a class for you if you've had repeated relationship struggles, or you might feel emotional reactions that feel out of control, or you feel drained. And when you're around people with these patterns, it is draining, and especially as an empath. So if you really wanted to understand on a deeper level, please join us. And that is, you can find that on my website, kellywhite.com. So there you go. So Carlene Reese says, Kelly, do we have one specific animal totem our whole life, or does that change? So we do, I would say yes to like a specific one. If you've ever been drawn to one specific, then yes. But having said that, they change all the time. Again, you might, right now I'm in my sheep phase. I've said that probably 10 times tonight, if not more. Before that, I was in my fish phase, and I loved the fish phase. Still love that. I love totems. I just love them. And you said that you were talking to your mom, and you told her that she was a deer and your dad was a hawk. She said, and then she asked me what I was, and I had no idea. So you may not know, but is there an animal that you're really attracted to? That could do it. That's a pretty easy way to do it. And again, Melissa, yes, you talked about a red cardinal flying by your house, and that it's somebody that was contacting you. And cardinals have a message. They're a message from a loved one often, but also they're about a lasting commitment. And why is that? Because cardinals mate for life. And so if you see a cardinal, it could be talking about your commitment. It may make you look at your relationship. So other ways to view this, but red cardinals mean vitality also. So again, depending on what it is that you're going through, you will learn to understand and interpret it for yourself, because I think that's really important. So Gail Hayden, let me get you a card, 426. Okay, your birthday's coming right up. Here we go. A card for you is 5151, optimism. Have a great birthday. That's going to be a great one. And let me go back, because I know that I wanted to get you a card for, let's see, where was this? Sonia, let me say a card from your spouse. Yes. So from your spouse. Okay. Let me get talking to heaven. How's that? I'll get these cards out. From your spouse. Here we go. Yikes. Let me just shuffle the cards. Here we go. I have no more earthly worries. Oh my gosh. So look for sunflowers. I also know that flowers can be a sign from our loved ones too. And flowers can be a fabulous totem. In fact, I should tell you guys, I have this wild experience every year, what kind of flower is that? It's not a daisy, and it's not it's oh my God, I can't believe what I'm forgetting. It's one special flower that comes up in one odd place, and it just comes up year after year after year. And it's just the wildest thing every time this happens. So I know that's always a message for me, which I think is fabulous. I love that. I love flowers. So, and I love the whole nature thing. I just love it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Lori Gravel says, I just popped onto my live and I must be in need of a card. Let's get you a card. Here you go. Okay, it was a tulip. That's what it was. I had so many different flowers in my head. It was a tulip. This one tulip grows every year. It comes back. One, not two, one. And it's in the oddest place. I have to get a picture of this. It's unbelievable. Okay, here we go. For you, Lori. Interesting. 303. forgive. So is there somebody that you are in need of forgiving? Think about that, maybe. Again, this is a really great time for that. Cheryl Fuchs says, I have an opportunity to purchase a property and make it a dream for me. Let's pull a card for you. Well, then go you. Ooh, this is a good one, Cheryl. 777. Luck. Luck be a lady tonight. There you go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Rose, thank you for asking. Charlotte, Charlotte's doing, she's hanging in there. My dog has cancer and she's hanging in there. Okay, Amber says, Kelly, I've been feeling this weird energy. So that energy was some of the most intense conjunctions that we have had, and that was Mars and Saturn. And that's like, as I explained last week, it's like having the gas fully going and a brake fully going. And so it's this really fierce, terrible, terrible energy. It was terrible energy. So that's lifted slightly. It's lifted. So it's lifted a lot better than it was. Anyway, we're still not out of any woods, but it's a little lighter now, Okay, Rich says, I love my sacred animal totems. They're always there when I need reassurance, right? Yeah, let me get you a card here. They are. I love that. I'm so glad you said that. Ooh, 2713, mindfulness. Being mindful is very important to me. Okay, Marge says, my cat has woken me several times this week at 4:44. Okay, now that is an angel cat then, because 444, the message of that are angels. So I love that. Michelle Nelson, Kelly, from your Minnesota neighbor, we just had 1.5 inches of rain. Oh my God. Yes, we need it. Hopefully no more tornadoes. I heard about that you guys were, I didn't want to say the T word ever again. I can't. Sheep, be with me. Be thinking of sheep forever. Amber says, I have 2 hooting owls outside our bedroom window for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, Amber, your consciousness is shifting. Your consciousness is shifting there. Oh my gosh. Katie says it's going to be a year since she's been gone, and you're talking about Vicky. So Katie, I've got chills. She's always around, and I was thinking about her today, right? Michelle, you and I know. I was talking to you about Vicky today. I swear to God, we were talking about Vicky this morning, Katie, and it will be Mother's Day when it'll be a year ago, Mother's Day. And she was a dear, dear friend of mine, and I know of yours, Katie, and I miss her every single day. I miss her every single day. I think about her and miss her a lot, and I can feel her around, and I just love her so much. I'm so bummed. I wish she was still here. I do. I really miss her. So I understand, Katie, that you're missing her, honey. Let's get you a card. Let's get you a card from her. Okay, let's do that. That'll be fun. Let's get you a card. Hold on a minute. Katie, this is for you from Vicky. Okay, Katie, you're so going to appreciate this. I am so much better now. That's for both of us. I know she's a lot better. I never met a soul that wanted to be with her spouse after he passed more than Vicky. And you know that to be true, Katie. And that was our girl. That was it. And so, God, I'm going to keep this one out. That's amazing. Thank you for writing in, honey. Veronica from Burbank. Okay. How's Burbank? I love Burbank. Love Burbank. I was there last year. And I'm from Toluca Lake. I love that. Oh, thank you. Patty Morris says, Kelly, I've mentioned to you before how many health issues. He's decided to stop all medical procedures and solely stop medication, will start palliative care. I'm a person who likes to know things ahead and how long he will have. I don't know, Patty, that's always up to the soul. That I can never predict. It's always up to the soul, honey. I will say that a lot of people are feeling that right now. And so, honey, let's get you a card from the angels. All right. God bless you. Interesting. 413 synergy. So whatever the synergy is there, just know that it's between his soul and God is the way I view it. Okay. All right, Patty, you hang in there and you keep us posted, honey. Yeah, big shifting, right, Rich, right? Melanie says, I'd love a card. Let's get you a card. Here we go. 999, release. And to be honest, this card is probably for everybody because this month, the two full moons, that's very rare. And their significance. Okay, Charlene Miller says, just saying, and I am proud I'm on time to see you. Oh, yay, me too. I had a dream 2 stallions were up on their hind legs and making fight sounds. Wow. Ooh, I walked past knowing that they would calm down and not physically fight. Then I walked next to 2 huge gray furry working dogs laying there calmly. I petted one as I passed and gave both some love talking. My animal dream from 2 days ago. Wow. Wow, those are big ones. So the let's just take that apart for a second here. And you had stallions. Isn't that male horses? That's a big deal. So I'm wondering, well, pay attention. Horses bring freedom, but male horses, that's an interesting type of freedom there. It's an interesting thing that was happening. I wonder what you have to pay attention to, what that message means for you with that. And then dogs. I love the gray furry working dogs laying there calmly. Dogs often in dreams represent God. You know, I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing here. Okay, I think that's very good. Hi, Mildred. How are you, honey? Angel says, last week I didn't get a card. Let's get you a card, Angel. You didn't get one? 808, security. Security. How good is that? Have some security there. That is very good. Yes. Elizabeth, I've been seeing a lot of bald eagles. So bald eagles are one of the greatest totems of all because they represent really spirit looking out for us, spirit taking over, watching out for us. Bald eagles are so important. I love to see them. They really embolden ourselves with an energy of like stepping into our own power. That's it, Elizabeth. Okay. So just don't forget that one. That is a good one. So Angelette, how do you know what your totem is? It's what is there anything that you've ever been drawn to? Anything in the world. Could be a platypus. It could be anything that you have always been, I don't know, had this kind of thought in the back of your mind about. And maybe not. So pay attention to it. Okay. Addie says, remember the video I sent you with the 2 barred owls? Yes, I was thinking of you, Addie, when I was talking about that. So yes, and that was outside of your dad's window. Yeah, your dad's parents would have definitely been visiting him. And also it brings wisdom. And Addie, after you sent me that, somebody else sent me a video with 2 owls. I could not believe it. That has never happened. And I've never seen 2 owls next to each other. And I got them within like 2 days of each other. So Addie, I was thinking of you. So thank you for that. That really meant a lot. I watched that over and over. That was one of the coolest things ever. I love owls. And so, here's another thing with spotting a totem. You might be, I was at the Wisconsin Dells and the kids and I a couple months ago, and we walked into a real touristy shop. And everywhere I went were big pictures of owls, and I couldn't get that off my mind. I think I ended up buying something. I couldn't help it. But like we're owls. So pay attention to, you might see a stuffed animal of something, but something might get to you. Hi, Lois. Marianne says, my son Casey passed a few years ago. Oh, honey, let's get the card from him. Oops, let me get you a card from him. He's, definitely around you. Definitely around you, Marianne. Here we go. It was my time to go, he said. It was his time to go. So pay attention. He's around. He's around you. I've got chills everywhere. He is definitely around you. Okay. And crows, when people see crows represent families, family lineage. And when we do, I talk a lot about family constellation with Carrie Gonia. And Carrie Gonia does family constellation, and that you carry 13 generations of trauma behind and 13 going forward. Whenever we're about to do some form of family constellation, crows appear. I always found that was interesting. Debbie, hey, Debbie Jones, I was just thinking about you today. Sorry to hear you have fires there in Georgia. I heard, honey, and I wondered if they were close to you. I'm so sorry. You've had a lot too, Debbie, between the, your own. I think, didn't you guys have tornadoes too? And there's a lot. Right, Earth is probably pissed off. Oh, honey. So Cheryl says that's how you are with goats. Okay. I love goats too. And I took my grandkids last year to Greta's Goat Farm in Pecatonica, Illinois. And it was so great. It was so great. Oh my God. We so love that. Now, if they do one with sheep, I gotta do that. I have to find out about that. Oh, Marge, I think Scottish cows are very calming too. I love those. So Melissa says my totem is a dolphin. So dolphin totems are extraordinary. They also mean the Christ consciousness. So it means consciousness is changing. Okay, Annette Allen says a hummingbird has nested in a nest used twice already. My sister loved hummingbirds, and after she passed, hummingbirds started coming. Totally. That is exactly right. And then she said, I've moved since, and now hummingbird is using the nest for a third time right outside our window. Oh, Annette, I've got chills. Let's get a card from her. I have chills about her. Oh my gosh. I will always point you in the right decision and in the right direction. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think she's so active right now for you. Oh my God. And Angelite loves lions. I do too. I love lions. I have this thing about those too. Butterflies and dragonflies. And dragonflies and butterflies, but dragonflies can bring a lot of transformation in your life. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, that's good to know, Charlene. If you can't catch your breath, stand up, jump in the air, and put your weight into landing, and it'll jolt you into breathing. Well, I'm going to try to remember that one. Kim Ann says the driftless area, thank you, Kim Ann. So you know what I'm talking about, is where during the Ice Age, the glaciers, which were a moraine glacier, meaning one that is pushing stuff like rocks and trees in front of it. The glacier reached Wisconsin, Iowa, and northern Illinois and Wisconsin area and receded, leaving the bio trash, which broke down and became fertilizer. It's the reason the Midwest has that rich black soil. Oh, is that why it's so beautiful too? Kim Ann, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm in the driftless area. It's stunning. I got to say, it's stunning. Oh my gosh. Okay, Ann Buffington, you have Canadian geese. Geese are very, very spiritual when you see Canadian geese. Very spiritual, honey. Again, change in consciousness. Highland cows, I love them too. It was a great experience for me, Anne. Laura says, I think that alligators and armadillos have tough skin. Absolutely. And that emotional resilience is the theme. Oh, for sure. Oh, Holiday will love that. My daughter. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's right. Thank you, Jackie, for that. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, Debbie says, in my case, dreams of black bears, which are so prevalent here. And my fear, she says, is running into one. Oh, that'd be my fear. And I'm always looking out when I go to my car and let my dogs out. They usually don't bother anyone, but yet I'm fearful of them, understandably. And this past week in our national park, they closed all hiking trails due to 3 separate bear incidents and 1 bite. Oh my God. The bears are bigger this year than I've ever seen. Wow. Debbie, you're in our group, our Whispers of the Soul. Talk to Lori, who's in our group too, because she's got bears all over. She's in Connecticut, and she's got, I remember once I was in a session with her, and in the session, I said, I think there's a bear behind you. And there was. It was the damnedest thing ever. Rhino, Margaret. Wow. How great is that totem? Wow. I mean, it's funny. You might think, think of maybe the time you've gone to the zoo. Was there anything ever that you were really interested in about? So Lee says, Kelly, I have mourning doves around my house. Mourning doves symbolize love. They're all about love, 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 loving yourself, love. Yeah, love. I love birds too. I think they're just so great. Can I do a show on incoming light codes? You know who I could have on the show doing that? As our dear friend Dwayne. I think he does light codes because I don't understand the light codes, but I think he does. I think I'll check with him. Hey, D, bears and hawks, right? I think that would be a lot of people love the owls. I think that's so true. And butterflies. Now, if you're dreaming about cats are incredible. Cats go in between what am I trying to say? Like the mundane world and the spiritual world. They go between the dimensions. Cats are amazing. Thanks, Nancy Ann. Good to see you. Sea lions. Okay. Sea lions, Michelle Lambert. Oh, how fabulous are sea lions that you get to see them. Wow. Okay. I think that's great. Ann Buffington says we have an old painting of a field of cows that we'll be encountering this week. Great. And peacocks and bird of paradise have been a topic of a conversation. So birds of paradise also may be a totem for you. Again, it can certainly be A flower too. Absolutely. So always know that. So let's see. Mitchell Lambert says, I've always been drawn to wolves. Wolves are really one of the old totems for, God, they represent so much. They do represent family. They represent real power, your self-power, self-worth. Judy says, can I have a card? Yes, let's get you a card. Here we go. 77. Purpose, Judy, purpose. Here we go. Lisa says, my daughter's dog is always so close to me when I visit, a big lab that thinks he's a lap dog. I'm the only one he lays on. I always wondered if somebody's giving me a sign through him. Oh, for sure, Lisa, for sure. That could, whoever it was, your dad, your mom, somebody giving you some sort of love there, for sure. Renee says, some of our fur babies, our cats and dogs, feel like they're taking the role of totems. Oh, for sure. Edgar Casey has some really interesting teaching on cats being watchers. Yeah. Oh, I believe that. Oh, Cheryl, I'm so glad you're going to love the Starseed class. You guys are going to love that. It's going to be so good. So Evie, it's funny. You were drawn to bears and now you're drawn into horses, right? So that's to pay attention. What are you drawn into? Again, now I'm into sheep. Who knew? I think that's going to be for life. I'm going to, because it will always remember the calming effect. So you can choose your own totem too, and look it up and see if it fits for you, what you're going through. Okay. I think that would be fabulous. Okay. Oh, thanks, Charlene. Remove the flowers closer. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know, aren't those pretty? Dawn gave those to me a couple of days ago, and I just love those. Okay, England Young. Hi there, England. Would love a card for a guidance. Let's see. Ooh, 4141 habits. I don't know if this means change your habits. Habits are being looked at right now. Pay attention. Yes, it was a tulip. Right? Kim Ann, they bloom in the snow. Go ahead. Okay, Emily says, can I have a card? Yes, you can. Here we go. 616 sanctuary. Emily, form a place for you that is a sanctuary. That would be great. Okay. Let's see. Diana says, I was pulled to go to the UK, London this year. Lots of reasons. Anything I should know? I don't know, Diana. Only you can answer that. But if you're pulled to go there, interesting. Maybe it says 1144, leveling up. So that maybe you're going there, if you're drawn to that area, for a shift in your consciousness, Lissap says, let me get you a card. You bet, Lissap. Okay, 525, reshape. Time to reshape. A lot of things going on tonight. Okay, Debbie, let me get you a card. You fell again? Oh, no. 69, accountability. So let's talk about why you're doing this. I just had to shut down the world to paint and regroup. I've been so badly, and oh, honey, I am so sorry that you're going through so much. You have had a setback. Okay, well, let's talk about that, Debbie. I'm sorry that you're having a setback. These are some setback times. You'll move forward again when it's time. Just rest, Debbie. We love you. Just rest. Okay, I think that's really important. Annette says, can I have a card for my son? Yes, you can. For your son, yes. 427, be authentic. Let him to be completely authentic. Okay. Let's see something here. Okay. Matt says, when I woke up yesterday, I felt like my body had all over a migraine. I tried to help myself by meditating, and I saw that my dog had passed away 4 years ago. Matt, oh, bless your heart. Isn't that something? Oh, I got chills. Was letting you know. Wow, honey. Thank you for sharing that. That's a big deal. I hope you feel better now. So Melanie says, after my father died suddenly, there were so many loud blue jays on my balcony, 5 or 6 of them. Wow. They got my attention, and for a few days, they seemed to appear again, loudly screaming as if to convey a message. My father was fond of feeding them peanuts, and his funeral card cover was a picture of a blue jay. I still don't understand why he chose to leave only 2 weeks before I was going to go visit with him with my adult son. We hadn't seen my dad in 10 years. I don't know, Melanie. Let's get a card for him. Whoops. Let me get a card here. Let me grab a card over here. I always give you a good night kiss. I'm going to tell you he loves you very much, Melanie. Okay? Just know that, honey. Let's see. boy, everybody's missing their loved ones. I see that. Everybody's missing their loved ones. They just are. It's that time. Let's see here. Okay, Barbara, let me give you the last card here because you're looking for a new work, a new opportunity. Here we go. 369. Have compassion for what you're going through. It'll shift for you. Let me tell you what, these energies are going to move us forward, and they're great energies for healing. So, Debbie, I suspect you're going to get a big healing there. And you know what, Debbie, you might want to have a session with Dwayne in our group. Dwayne, he's an extraordinary healer. He might be able to help you with that. Okay. So, everybody, join us, Dr. Shirley and myself, on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to be tackling the subject in Psychology and the Soul of AI. That'll be an interesting topic to discuss on Tuesday. All right, everybody, have a great week. Have a lot of compassion for everything you're going through. Okay, these are some times, and pay attention to all of these amazing totems. Okay, so take care, my friends. Look forward to seeing you next week.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kelly White.